Thanks so much for stopping by the channel. My name's Leah, and let's talk about Real Housewives of Dubai. This is season 1, episode 1. And you know what? For a first episode, it was good. It was legitimately good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed everybody. So let's get into it. So we're introduced to the ladies of Dubai, in Dubai. Okay, if you ever hear me say that throughout all these reviews, it's from a sound bite of this girl that was on a podcast where she said something about, like, I've been suffering for 19 years. I deserve to shake my ass on a yacht in Dubai in a thong. So anytime I hear Dubai,
shake my ass on a yacht in Dubai in a thong.
It rolls in my mind, and I hear in Dubai. In Dubai. So I might do that a lot. I really might do that a lot. So forgive me. But we open up and we basically get a brief history of Dubai. We have Nina basically saying she's glad she got to see Dubai before it became Dubai, like what it is now. And basically, I learned this earlier on before watching the show, which I didn't know. I was like in spaces with a couple of my mutuals, and they basically explained to me that that basically, like, one of my mutuals explained to me, because she lives overseas, that like Dubai was built to be like a leisure place, like luxury and leisure, kind of similar to Las Vegas. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like, Las Vegas used to be desert, and then they made Las Vegas and the strips and all of that stuff, and that's basically what they did in Dubai. So they started building in 1966, and then now we have what we see as Dubai in 2022. So we meet all the ladies. We get a brief little excerpt of everybody. We see Sarah is an Emirati. I hope I said that right. I think it's let me listen to Google right quick. Emirati. She's an Emirati. Basically, it means a native or someone who has citizenship in the United Arab Emirates. So basically anybody who was born in an Arab country, or who was originally born in, like, well, I guess Dubai would be Arab. Yeah. Born in an Arab country. We find out that only 12% of the population in Dubai are Emiratis. Everybody else, of the 88%, is transplants. They call them expats, but I'm calling them transplants. Everybody else is a transplant. So like I said, we get like a brief introduction to everyone. Excuse me. We meet Sarah. She's an Emirati. She is divorced and a mom of 1, and she is a tech entrepreneur. Then we have Miss Chanel Ayan. She's Kenyan. She's a mom of 1. She's married, and she is Dubai's first black supermodel. Then there is Lisa. She is Jamaican American, and she is a mom of 3, and she's married, and she is a maternity designer. So like maternity wear for pregnant women. And then you have Nina. Nina is a Lebanese American. She's a mom of 3. She's married, and she is, what's it called? I think it says something about her being like a social media influencer and a CEO. Then you have Caroline Stonsberry. She is a mom of 3. She was divorced, but now she's married again. And she is a entrepreneur, and she's also, I guess, trying to be a hotel enthusiast, like trying to start her own hotel business over there. Then you have Caroline Brooks, who's also, so only Caroline and Sarah are divorcees. Well, I mean, you know, Caroline Steinberry used to be a divorcee, but now she's married. But who's currently divorced is Sarah and Caroline Brooks. Caroline Brooks is from America. She is she's a divorcee. She's a mom of 1, and she is an entrepreneur and a spa enthusiast. She wants to open up her own like spas in Dubai. So everybody seems to like mesh decently. One thing I did like about this opening scene was that we did get a quick blurb of who everybody was, but then we also got this cool like flow chart of like who's friends and who's not friends, which I like that stuff. Give me presentation energy. Okay, like let me know who was cool. I would love to see that, like like in every opening of every franchise with Real Housewives. Let me know who is cool and who is not cool, so I don't have to decipher anything, you know, going into the new season. So what we find out is that Chanel and Lisa are like this, and they're kind of cool with Caroline Brooks, which I'm gonna call her Brooks, but Brooks is like frenemies with Chanel, and Lisa always takes Chanel's side. Then you have Caroline Stansberry and Chanel. They don't get along. Like, they just don't see it for each other. Their energies don't mesh. But Caroline Stansberry is really good friends with Nina. Sarah is like the only person that is brand new to the group, and Brooks just goes between the both friend groups when she sees fit. So the person we're introduced, like officially is Miss Chanel Ayan. Chanel is delusional. She is obnoxious. She's gorgeous, and she bitchy. She makes a great version of a housewife. Now, I will say I felt like people online was gassing sis. Like, everyone was saying she's a future icon. She's a legend. And I'm like, y'all say that about a lot of these women. And then as the season continues, A, y'all don't like them by the end of the season. B, y'all want them to have like a hard fall because you just feel like at some point it gets obnoxious. But I do feel like there's possibly more to Chanel based off of what we saw in the super trailer. I think she's going to let us in a lot more into like who she truly is. And I want to know more, because the whole like, I'm beautiful, I'm this, I'm extra, that gets old after a while if there's nothing behind it, i.e. Giselle. Like, I want to really get to know you. But like I said, she's gorgeous. And even though I think she's obnoxious and delusional, her resume backs it up. Like, we just gonna call a spade a spade. Like, they showed us all the different campaigns that she's been in. She's done Versace, she's done Fendi, she's done, I think she said Gucci and other really high-end brands. So Chanel knows she that girl. Her tagline, they don't hate me because I'm beautiful. They hate me because they're basic. She knows. But she is gorgeous. I did like seeing her relationship with her son. I think his name is Taj, but he's 16. We find out that Chanel met her husband while she was in Kenya. She lived in a really small village in Kenya. She met her husband. They got married. She got pregnant, and then they moved to Dubai. While in Dubai, someone saw her and was like, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. You could be a model. And this is how we have Miss Chanel Ayan, you know? But I did like her relationship with her husband. They were like playing some patty cake game. And we then see like Chanel in her confessional where she's like, you know, I love these moments with my son. If he doesn't want to go to school with her dad, like when the dad is not there, I don't let him go to school. You know, we go get ice cream, we go get food, we go to the movies. So he knows when I'm gone, we have these beautiful moments, you know. He's never going to remember science. And I say Chanel, but he needs to know. But I like it. I guess she basically was saying how her relationship with her son is totally different than what she had with her family. And I would think so. Based off that picture we saw of her family, it seemed like her family was actually pretty big of a size. So maybe she just, like, her mom and her couldn't have that one-on-one experience. Or maybe she just got pushed to the side. But I do like that she has a great relationship with her son. We then get to see Miss Caroline Stansberry. And if you don't know, I know Caroline off of Ladies of London. And I enjoyed her. She was basically like the villain of... she was basically the villain of Ladies of London. She was snooty, she was uptight, she was ice cold, and the American girls just couldn't take her. The only friends that she could make that were American were girls that were like just as snarky or as cold as she was, and she liked that about them. And she was a lot, but I liked her. I really did like her. But we see her in bed with some man named Sergio. Now, when I saw Sergio, I was like, that's not her husband. Because I remember her husband looking a lot older than that. And when we find out, they ended up getting a divorce. Like, so if you don't know, on Ladies of London, I think it was like season 2 or season 3. I think they got 3 seasons, possibly 2 seasons. But Caroline's business wasn't doing great. She had to close down her business, and then her husband got like this huge opportunity to move to Dubai, and they picked up their 3 kids and they moved to Dubai. And that was like the end of the series, or the end of Caroline's story as it pertains to Ladies of London. And we see that they moved to Dubai, and then they ended up getting a divorce. And then she meets Sergio, who kind of looks like a younger version of her husband. She falls in love with him. They get married. Sergio's 27. She's 45. It's only an 18-year age gap, but everybody acting like she's 67 and he like 19. It's not that big. I don't know. It's not that big of an age gap to me now. Would I do it? No, because me and Sergio are around the same age. But I wouldn't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But they seem happy for the most part. I ain't even gonna lie. We do find out that the dog peed on the bed, and like, didn't nobody move? I was like, was it a tinkle or was it like a pee-pee? You know, like, I just was like, why are y'all showing us how disgusting you are, and like in the way y'all let y'all animals act? Kyle, and now you, Caroline, get it together. Get it together. But they ended up getting married in a neighboring country because Caroline and Sergio couldn't get married because Sergio is Catholic, Caroline is Jewish, and then also Caroline is a divorcee. I wanted them to expound upon that. I wanted to know, like, is there like what is that a law? Like, if you get divorced, you can't remarry, or if you have different religious backgrounds, they won't marry you in Dubai. I just wanted to know more. Like, I wanted them to explain that more. But like I said, they went to a neighboring country, they got married, and now they're supposedly having like an actual like wedding in Dubai. But I guess it's just going to be like a wedding ceremony, like a fake. It would be considered fake in Dubai because they're not really signing, like, their marriage is probably like not legal in Dubai, but legal in other countries. But they're having this ceremony for their families because when they went and got married in the neighboring country, it was just like immediate, like, friends and then her children, because she does have 3 kids. And she was like, her parents weren't too happy that they couldn't be a part of it. Plus, this is also Sergio's first wedding, so he really wanted to marry her. Like, Caroline was fine with not getting married, but he was like, no, I don't want people to just see me as your boy toy. I want to be married. Hopefully she got a prenup, because Sergio looked like he steal your heart and then take your money. We just gonna call it what it is. We gonna call it what it is. We then see Nina come over, and we find out that Nina and Caroline really didn't see eye to eye when they first met, but they've known each other for almost like 8 or 9 years. I think that's what she said. And they both had very like opposing views of each other. Caroline thought Nina was boring, and Nina thought Caroline was just standoffish and snooty. But once they got to know each other, they actually wound up really liking one another. So we find out that Caroline's going to have a hen party, and I guess that's what they call bachelorette parties over in the UK. And Sergio is coming, and I'm like, Sergio, why? Do you not have friends? Do you not have friends? And then we also find out that Nina's having like a party as well to invite all the ladies to. Our next lady is Miss Lisa. Now, I remember Lisa from College Hill. I think it was like South Beach. I think it was College Hill, South Beach. I ain't like Lisa. I didn't. I thought Lisa was stuck up. But one thing I will say, like, this is a new season. I ain't seen Lisa in over like 10 or 15 years. How long? When was her season of College Hill, y'all? Let's see. College Hill. Y'all remember when that lady got hit in the face with the pump? That was like College Hill, Virgin Islands, I think. And then that one man who was about to fight that girl overtaking his Ninja Turtle stuffed animal that his dad gave to him after he passed, like before he passed away. College Hill used to be a mess. College Hill used to be a mess, honey. College Hill, let me see. So it's College Hill, South Beach. When did this air? College Hill, South Beach aired in 2019. It's been years, bruh. It's been years. So we're going to wipe the slate clean with Miss Lisa. But like I said, I didn't like her too much. I just felt like she thought she was better than everybody else. One thing I can say is, like, her face card does not decline. She was beautiful on College Hill. South Beach, and she's still like, she has aged very gracefully. Like, she looks gorgeous. Her little kids are cute. I don't know, her man is okay, you know. I like my men, you know, my white men with beards. But she has a beautiful family. I thought it was crazy when they brought out the ice, because when the scene opens up, we see the kids in the pool. They're putting ice in the pool because it's 103 degrees in Dubai. It was 101 degrees here. I said, I don't know what's going on. I don't like it. I don't like it. So I understood what Lisa was talking about. So they put like ice into the pool to cool it off, which I was like, oh, that's crazy, because I don't know if I've seen anybody just throw ice in their pool over here when it gets too hot. But maybe that's like a common thing in areas like Arizona or like Las Vegas, where it is like the desert, or New Mexico and stuff. She has a beautiful family. I thought it was funny when all her kids have like different accents. So you have the oldest one, I think his name is Maximilian. He has like a British accent. Then Sebastian has a American accent. And then Christian, I think it's Christian or Kristen, I think it's Kristen, has a Jamaican accent. It's cute. It's adorable. It really is the cutest thing, because she asked all of them to say water, and they all say water very differently, and I love that. So her and her husband met in Miami, I think she said in South Beach at Club Live or Club Live in 2012. They got married, and then he's been living in Dubai for like 16 years, and then she decided, you know, to come with him, and this is how we got Lisa and her family. She talked about her business line, which is called, I think it's Mina Zoe or Mina Rowe. I think it's Mina Rowe. And basically, she couldn't find any trendy wear to wear as a mom, as a young pregnant woman. So she decided to make her own, which I like that. Like, if you can't find it, you might as well do it yourself. And she was able to make a company out of it. So that's good for her. We then get to meet Caroline. I actually, out of all the homes, I love the way Caroline Brooks' home looked. So we meet Caroline Brooks. We find out that she was, she's been living in Dubai for like 8 years. She moved here after she met her husband, Zari or Zaran or Zoran. Y'all know them together. It didn't, I don't know. I don't know why she married that man, because he wasn't, you know, I don't know what she saw. I don't but she got married to him. They ended up having a baby. She was the one that explained the whole thing about the Emiratis and how, like, where her house is. Supposedly, like, she had to get clearance in order to live there, because that area was only made for people who are Emiratis. And I think it's the area that has the cool, it's like the sand with the water around it. I think it looks like leaves to me. But we meet Caroline Brooks. We see her and her and her son talking and having fun. We find out that when she got divorced, she left the marriage with nothing. And she was proud of herself because all she wanted was her kid. Because I guess I have read stories, I'm not gonna lie, about women getting divorced and like the husband just taking the kids over there. So I guess her thing was like, she didn't want any money, she just wanted her kid. And she's been able to like rebuild, and she's like, that's like a testament for like her strength. And you can say that too. I will say, y'all, I was like a little uncomfortable seeing like all the nannies and like the housekeepers, only because I also read stories about how they do those people over there, and I was just like, I hope everyone I've seen is getting paid what they should be paid, and they're able to not live in like slavery. I'm hoping that's not what we witness, and I'm hoping all these people are good people and they're, you know, they doing the right thing. But they kept bringing up, I think it's called the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in like the world, which I always thought it was like an office building. I never thought people like live there. Well, I just thought people worked there. I don't know why, I just thought it was an office building. But they said one bedroom in there is $1.3 million, bruh. $1.3 million. Girl, for a one bedroom, and we all over here struggling with rent in America. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. But we find out in this scene with Caroline Brooks, or I'm gonna just call her Brooks, with Brooks, that she wants to start opening up her own spas in Dubai, and she was looking at places for like realtors. Her realtor called, and basically there's like 3 places we're gonna see, I guess, throughout the season where she's going to like start setting up shop. The next scene we see is of Lisa and Chanel meeting up to get dinner. Not dinner, it was lunch. It was lunch. It wasn't nighttime, it was lunch. And what we find out is that Caroline Stansberry is having her hen party, but she didn't invite Chanel. And Chanel was saying how she got a call at like 3 a.m. in the morning from Brooks, basically like laughing in her face that she didn't get invited to the to the bachelorette party. Like she felt something, and like as much as Chanel is trying to act like she wasn't bothered, she was bothered that she didn't get invited. Like there's no way she wasn't, but because her attitude was very like pissy after that. So then, like, speak of the devil, Brooks calls Lisa, and Lisa has her own speakerphone, and basically Brooks is like telling on herself. She's like, "Are you going to the party?" And Lisa's like, "Yeah, I'm going to the party." She was like, "Oh, what are you gonna wear to the party?" And she was like, "Well, I don't want to upstage anybody. I'm gonna wear something very simple." And then Brooks is like, "Girl, did you hear the tea? Like the drama that, you know, Chanel didn't get invited. I wonder how she feel about that." And Chanel sitting across the table like, just me mugging, because she's just annoyed with Brooks, which I like, it's understandable. And she was like, "Oh, okay." Well, she was like, Caroline only wants to invite people that she's cool with. And then like Lisa gets off the phone. Now it was shady that Lisa took the call on speaker and didn't inform Brooks that Chanel was there. But Chanel doesn't like Brooks, and Brooks doesn't like Chanel. Like, it's very much frenemy-ish. Like, they're like, so the thing about it is Chanel is obnoxious and delusional, and then Brooks is obnoxious too and can be an asshole. So it's like they're both the energies is just, they're not meshing. Which is funny. But Lisa is like Brooks is just messy. But then when Lisa's in her talking head, she's like, "You know, I don't like being in the middle, because here, like, you're transplant, like, you know, as all of us being transplants, like, your friends are your family." But she was like, "I'm always team Chanel." So I'm like, girl, you do like being in the middle if you constantly take someone's sides, whether or not they're right or wrong. Because we find out that Chanel was one of the first models that Lisa was able to book to start her like her maternity line. Like, Chanel was one of her models, and that's how they became like really good friends. I think they're actually like best friends. So of course they're clicked out. But I just was like, girl, whatever. We find out that Chanel doesn't think that Caroline or Sergio's like relationship is real. She said the sexual chemistry is only on IG. She thinks their marriage is like contractual. And I was just like, girl, and Lisa thinks it's too. But I'm kind of like, Lisa, we didn't really see the love between you and your husband yet. So I'm looking at Chanel too, like, we ain't seen you with your man yet. Now, if we see you with your man and it's giving the same like contractual stuff, then I'm gonna be like, rent game, recognize game. I guess you know what a contractual marriage is because you in one too. Now, but Chanel says she don't feel no type of way that she didn't get invited to the hen party, which she kind of does, because she was pissy even when they got to the end of the episode where they were sitting at the table. So we get to Caroline's hen party, and they're on this beautiful yacht. The hors d'oeuvres look good. I still don't think Sergio should have been there, but she has on white. I didn't like her outfit. I was like, all that poofed up stuff. And the only ladies of the cast that were invited was Caroline Brooks, Lisa, and Nina. And everyone gets there. We find out that Caroline Stansberry and Lisa know each other based off of social media. That's how they formed a friendship, and that's how they became friends. Same with, I think, Caroline Brooks. She was like, that's how you know, like, she knows Caroline Stansberry. Like, they clicked up on the internet. So what we find out is that, like, because of the alcohol regulations in Dubai, you can't just go get alcohol, I guess, you know, legally. Because I know people probably be making their own moonshine in Dubai, because we do it over here. But most of alcohol is in, like, restaurants or like when you have events. No one just can, like, randomly go to, like, the convenience store or the ABC store, what we call it down here, or, like, the spirit store, and go get alcohol. Like, you actually have to go to, like, an establishment and, like, sit down and eat, or, like, order it that way. So they had, like, a few little cocktails. We ended up meeting all of, like, Caroline's friends. They played some games. I actually thought some of the games were fun. They did this one, like, put it in the hole, where you had to put, like, tissue between your legs. And, like, Sergio was sitting on a, like, a seat with, like, a pole, and you had to put it on the pole. Then we saw another game where they had wire wrapped around their waist, and they had to put sausages in a bottle. I thought the games looked fun. I was kind of like, this is a bit much, but it did look like it was a fun time. Nina and Lisa said that they missed Chanel being there. Caroline Brooks said she ain't miss her, because Caroline's whole thing is like, or Brooks's whole thing is like, Chanel and her haven't spoken in 3, I think she had to say 3 weeks or 3 months. So she was like, I could care less about that lady. And she was like, we can move on. So the party ended. It looked cute. It looked fun. And then we get this scene. Well, no, the dinner's not. We can't get to the dinner yet. We get introduced. So next we get introduced to Sarah. They're actually at Dubai's Frame. It was built in 2013, and it's the world's largest frame, and it's 50 stories. So the cool thing about the Frame, I guess, is like it's kind of in the middle of the actual like city. So on one side of the Frame, you see like the new Dubai, and on the other side of the Frame, you see the old Dubai. We find out that Sarah is like an Emirati. Like I said, she is originally from the area, and she's linking up with Nina. Nina's youngest child is her son, and then Sarah has a son. But the two boys are like best friends. Like they were excited to see each other. It was cute when they ran up and hugged one another. But they're going into the Frame. Like I said, it's 50 stories high. It was funny to hear Nina tell her kids, y'all stayed in the Burj Khalifa. Like, that's the world's tallest building. She was like, don't be trying to act like you scared. Don't do it. Don't do it. And so they get up there, and girl, y'all, Sarah's son was not having it. He was not having it, because I guess they have like those windows down at the bottom where you can see below you, and he was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And Sarah had to like grab him and tell him to like take a deep breath, and he's like so, and I thought it was cute that they counted to like I think 15 or 20, and he was like, okay, then I'm getting off, and he jumped off right after that. But it was nice to hear them speak in Arabic. I think it kind of sucks that the kids don't speak back to their moms in Arabic. Like they're trying to like hold on to their culture, so they like teaching their kids Arabic words. I thought it was funny when Nina said, my kids won't speak Arabic back to me, but when I get to yelling in Arabic, they know what's up. I feel like that's any immigrant child. You may not know what your parents are saying all together, but you know enough to know someone about to throw something at you for pissing them off. But Sarah is new to the group. Nina invites her to like they're going to have like a rooftop party at Nina's new home. And it's going to be like, you know, they rented out the rooftop, going to be like, you know, 5-star food and everything, drinks. And they're going to, I guess, bring in like the new moon or something. We find out that Nina is from Texas, but her family she's Lebanese American, but she lived in like a hippie town in Texas. So she was just kind of like, crystals are my thing. So I was like, okay, that's cute. So we get to this dinner. Everybody was supposed to show up in pastels. The only person that showed up in pastels was Brooks. Everybody else had on like, even the hostess, Nina had on like champagne, like a brown champagne color. Chanel came in like a champagne, like crystal doll dress. Caroline Stansberry's outfit was like some golden see-through, like what's it called, romper set. Then you had Lisa in an all white. She looked pretty. And I think, oh, and then Sarah had on like a blazer with like, what's it called? With like, sequins and stuff. Like, nobody followed the, no one followed the dress code. Not even the hostess, except Brooks. Because she had on like this really pretty like blue, set outfit. So they're all coming. You got them like saging. Just saging everything. Just like, you know. Nina's like welcoming the good vibes. So they get these really cute like name plates that they can actually like, I guess, put on their mirror. Everyone shows up. You have Ayan or Chanel come in, and she already is like she's giving. She is giving. And you see Caroline Stansberry just looking at her like, here we go. And she hugs her. Chanel hugs her. And Chanel said something about like, oh, Caroline Stansberry, the same. Because Caroline introduced herself like, oh, hey. I think she said Caroline Stansberry. Because they've only met in like, they're associates. They're not friends. They're associates. And so they sat down and Chanel said something to the effect of like, it's the same thing. And Caroline was like, it's not the same thing. Caroline's my name. Stansberry is my surname. Like, what are you talking about? And Nina's eyes got big like, here we go. I said, she said, sage it up. Sage it up, girl. So they sit down. Chanel sits down and then she immediately starts talking about how, you know, I looked in the mirror and I just loved myself. I looked beautiful. They go to Brooks's talking head and she's like, I look beautiful. I was like, y'all, leave it. Stop. So next thing you know, they start talking about Caroline Stansberry's hen party, her bachelorette party. The two people that weren't invited was Sarah and Chanel. Chanel was pissy. Like, we just gonna call it thing a thing. Because Chanel interrupts. And I thought she was gonna make a toast. Like, she legit was like, I want to make a toast. So Nina got ready for like a toast. But then she immediately starts to go in on like Caroline. Because basically before she even got to the toast part. Yeah, no, but that's before she got to the toast. So before she got to the making the toast and arguing with Brooks, she basically says, can we stop talking about something that I wasn't a part of? Like, I don't want to talk about it if I wasn't there. Like, I don't find any like joy in that. And I was like, girl, take it down a couple of notches. And everybody's kind of like, And then Sarah's sitting there like, well, I wasn't invited either, but I would like to hear what they have to say. And Chanel was like, that's good for you, but I don't want to hear it. She was like, I don't really give a F because I wasn't there. So then they continue to keep talking about it like they just didn't hear her gripe about not being there. And while everyone's talking about what they had, like the fun time they had there, you got Lisa on the other side of the table saying, you were missed. And I said, Lisa, she was and she wasn't. Only you and Nina missed her. Caroline, Brooks, and Miss Stansberry, they could care less. And that's when Chanel makes the toast where she's like, I got something to say. So everybody's thinking that like she's about to make a toast to Nina about inviting them to the to the rooftop party to have dinner. And Chanel basically was like, she was like, I don't like what Caroline Brooks did. And Caroline Brooks is like, huh? And everyone's like, girl, we thought you was about to make a toast for Nina. And she was like, oh, okay. It was just like, I'm looking at Chanel like, Chanel. So basically what we find out, like, Chanel had a problem with Caroline, like with Brooks, calling her and basically saying, Caroline Stansberry said that she only invited important people to her event. And she was like, and you're not important. And Caroline Stansberry is like, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I really didn't say that. I didn't say that. And they start arguing. So then Caroline, Brooks, and her start arguing back and forth. And Caroline said something about, like, she didn't say that, but I said that. I said that, you know, she probably only invited important people to the party. And then Sarah chimes in, and Sarah was like, I think she only wanted people that were close to her there. So, like, if y'all not close, then it is what it is. And then, because my thing is, like, Chanel is trying to act like she's so above it. But if you were so above it, then you wouldn't be griping about not being invited to the party. Or the fact that Caroline Brooks said that only the important people in Caroline's life was invited. So then there was an exchange between Miss Stansberry and Chanel where somebody said something, and then Caroline Stansberry was like, I don't really want to get to know you. And Chanel said, well, she said something about, like, get over yourself. And she was like, basically, like, our energies just don't mesh. It is what it is. I just don't like you, girl. Like, that's basically what she said in a roundabout way. And Chanel took offense to it. So then she gets back to arguing back with them. And then they start arguing back and forth. And then Chanel's go-to is like, you're jealous of me. So then Caroline Brooks is like, jealous of what? Jealous of what? She was like, look at me. Chanel's like, look at me. And Caroline Brooks is like, I am looking at you. Like, girl, you got on that dry ass wig looking like scarecrow hair. And I said, oh my God. And then I think Chanel called her like a bitch. And then Brooks referred back to her as she being a bitch. And so they going back and forth. Then you got Sarah like, y'all, stop. I actually was surprised that Nina stopped them from arguing. Nina was like, y'all can argue on your own time, but not here and not now. Like, this is my event. Keep that mess on the other side, you know? So then Sarah chimes in, and Sarah's like, what Sarah say? What's Sarah? Yeah, this is what Sarah said. Sarah basically was like, there's a nice way to argue. I don't agree with that, but there is levels to arguing. And she was like, we can rectify this situation right here, right now. And Sarah asked Caroline Stansberry, she's like, did you say that only the important people in your life were only going to be invited? And she said, no, I didn't say that. Then she asked Brooks the same question. And Brooks was like, I didn't say that, but I said it. She was like, I did say that, or I didn't say that, but I said it in a joking manner. Like, she was like, I just laughed and said, girl, I think she's only inviting the important people. And Chanel took offense to that. I think, like, you can't act like you above it and then get mad. So then Caroline Stansberry, just to be a bitch, was like, well, I'm going to own it now. I only did invite people that I thought were important to me. And she drinked her drink and looked at Chanel like, if the shoe fits, girl. And I said, ooh, y'all really don't like each other. Y'all really don't like each other. But yeah, y'all, I think the season is going to be interesting. I do hope they get I don't like that the fact that they don't get their own day. So the way they're going to be doing this now is that after Beverly Hills, we're going to get Real Housewives of Dubai. And I just feel like that's a lot. That is a lot. Like, I feel like they could put this show on Thursday and people would still tune in and watch. Like, they got pretty good ratings for this to be their first episode. But for the most part, I did enjoy it. I'm not even gonna lie. There were like there were 3 solid episodes, like moments where I cackled. It was when Chanel made that science comment at the end of the table when Brooks... When Brooks told her hair looked like, she told Chanel that her hair looked like scarecrow hair and it was stiff. And then when Caroline Stansberry at the end said, I'ma just own it. Yeah, only the important people were invited and it wasn't you, girl. You're just an associate. I was like, okay. It looks like all of them are gonna play the Housewives game and I'm down for it. But give me your thoughts. So that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic and drop down in the comments below. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.